On this episode of Sally's Speed Shop, we see if we can revive a 1973 Plymouth Satellite that sat for 31 years. And yeah, of course, we got to see if we can do a burnout. There's a little hint. It's Easter here in Georgia, and rather than going and doing an Easter egg hunt or whatever else you generally do on Easter, I'm on my way to my buddy Taylor Hull's shop because he just dragged a Plymouth Duster all the way from the Midwest somewhere, and it hasn't ran since 1989. So we're still doing a resurrection of sorts. It's just on an old Mopar. So yeah, this should go real well. Nah, I'm kidding. Cars just want to run, especially old cars. So I think we'll have this thing fired up here pretty shortly. But follow along, because this one's going to get interesting. I love reviving old junk. Alrighty, so I'm here with my buddy Taylor Hull, and he might have made a bad financial decision. He bought a Mopar.
All of those financial decisions are irresponsible and terrible. I have a Mopar problem. I can't remember how many. Five?
That's when you know it's a problem. But what do you got here?
So this is a 1973 Plymouth Satellite. It has 150 horsepower of Fury and a 318. And I'm calling it Daisy already.
It fits. It totally looks like a Daisy. And it's kind of a cream puff for how long it's been sitting.
Yeah, it is. It was up to the floats of the carburetor in Rat's Nest up until I got it. But we vacuumed all that out. All the mouse turds are up out of the interior.
I'm glad you did the fun job.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to get it nice and pristine before you came over here. I know you're used to working on really, really nice, pretty clean stuff.
No. But this thing's been sitting since 1989, you said? So 31 years.
31 years, same year I was born. The last time it was tagged, I think, was 2 months after after I was born.
So yeah, this should go real well. That's what I'm learning.
Yep.
But it looks pretty complete. I think it'll run. And old cars just want to run anyway, so I guess we'll dig in and see if it'll fire up. So as you can see under the hood, it is pretty complete. It's got a 318 with a 2-barrel, lots of power. And everything's pretty much there. You said it was missing the alternator, so you got one of those. And the coil and the fuel pump. So a few pretty key parts that were missing, but overall, this thing is in good shape. I mean, it had a vinyl top, which is a kind of a knock against it because the top's always rust. But really the only rust you see is down here on the quarter panel. The rest of it's solid.
It's not bad. The other quarter panel's really good. The trunk's really good. It does not have a gas tank, which is interesting, but...
And it has keys.
It does.
So we don't have to hotwire it. I mean, look, we got a key to the trunk too. And look how solid that is. That's nice. How many bodies do you think you can fit back here?
Probably 3 or 4.
Three or
Even more
four?
if you chop them up.
Oh gosh, that got dark real quick. You lubing the hinges up here? Man, that's not good. Whew. There's a little bit of rust in there.
It's not too bad though. I've had a lot worse.
Weight reduction, as they say.
Yeah.
And you said it's from Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Why is it so nice if it's from Oklahoma?
I don't know. My buddy Fred Ashmore picked it up for me, did the deal, wired him some cash, and now it's here in Georgia to have a second chance at life.
Oklahoma, 1989.
I'm so ready for off-road adventures in this car, I can't even explain it to you.
You gonna put all-terrains on it?
Nah.
This is cool, man.
It's a big boat.
Yes, it is. Anyway, let's dig in. Well, so Taylor's already changed the oil. He's cleaned off all the mouse turds and put a coil in it. So we're just trying to get power to the starter at this point because the key does some things. It turns some lights on the dash. It just doesn't send any power to the actual starter. So it doesn't have any power jumping across. We could probably just jump it though, because it has power to the coil and it has power to that. I think this little relay is just bad, and that's why we're not hearing anything clicking. I honestly, I haven't revived any old Mopars, so I don't know exactly what it is.
You won't be able to say that after today.
That is true. I'm learning things, setting records over here. Woo. But so this is your power from your battery to this relay. I think it's supposed to jump from here to here to go to the starter. So if we just tap a screwdriver between these two, I think it'll bump over.
Do the redneck jump. I like it.
See if I can electrocute myself. And this is in park, right?
Woo!
Look at that. Here's your new key.
It is in park.
So that relay is just bad. So this thing right here, your starter relay. Because this is power in is this wire. This is power to your coil, I'm pretty sure. Your fusible links that goes to your voltmeter amp gauge on this.
I'm sure AutoZone just
Power
have
in.
one of those in stock.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh yeah.
I think she's gonna
I'm
run,
really good
guys.
at that.
I think she'll run. I mean, she turned over totally fine right there.
Yeah.
Didn't make
It
any weird.
spins over pretty easy. by
Didn't make
hand,
any
too.
weird loud noises.
No. Do we want to stick the vacuum cleaner down its throat real quick?
We probably should. It'll just eat the rest. It'll be fine. So something had tried to build a little bit of a nest in there, and we took care of it.
I feel good about
That'll
that.
work great. And I actually popped the distributor cap off a minute ago, and it's got a magnetic pickup in 1973. And we're pretty sure everything's stock.
Mopar doing God's work.
Yeah, they were way ahead of everybody else on that one. Or it'll just give us a bunch of issues and I won't be able to fix it because I can't just sit there and file the points.
That would also be very Mopar.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much good though. We gotta hook up the coil and
Some vacuum stuff.
plug off some vacuum lines and dump some fuel in it and see what
Probably
happens.
need to put the ground on the coil too.
Yeah. And I mean, come on. This thing still has its windshield washer fluid reservoir. That's how you know it's really, really good.
Intact. I feel like it would hold water.
Another thing we're gonna do before we fire it up is pull at least one spark plug because the other 7 I'm sure will be fine based on the one,
I was
right?
feeling good about all 8. But you want to do it right.
I mean, I've revived lots of cars without looking at the plugs. Generally, cars just want to run, man. It's what they were made to do. I like these wide fenders.
Yeah. What you're saying is you like your step cousins?
What? How does that compute? How does that turn into that?
With your AMCs.
Oh. Okay, I thought you meant actual step cousins. I was like, hey, this isn't Alabama, this is Georgia.
Hey, I've seen it.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that plug looks beautiful, actually.
You want to go ahead and put the new one back in it?
I mean, I can, but why?
Yeah.
Look at it.
It really is pretty nice.
It almost looks like it ran yesterday. Like, there's nothing on here at all. I'm actually impressed. 31 years, 3 days, what's the difference?
Plymouth satellite, still impressing every day.
You need a big 43 on the side.
It could probably have one temporarily.
I guess this is going to be your wife's car. She probably doesn't want a full race car.
No, probably not.
So I've got the number 1 spark plug wire on a screwdriver sitting against some throttle linkage so I don't shock myself holding it. And we're going to check for spark real quick. If I can get it to do it. Oh yeah, it's got a good spark.
Yep.
That was a nice strong spark. This is easy. Why is this going so well?
We also have our vacuum line strategically plugged with rivets.
That's a good touch. Car's in park. We've checked over everything. We've got spark. We got starting fluid in the carburetor. That'll be great. Let's cause a massive fireball. And I think she's gonna run, so.
It's all right. There's no fire extinguisher anywhere in sight. We're gonna be great.
Oh, perfect. That's how I like it.
Woo! She's a runner.
Man, that was easy.
That was easy.
I've only been here for like a half hour. Man. She fired right up. I hope that wasn't rod knock. I hope that was just some piston slap going on, but it was loud, whatever that noise was.
Oh, wow.
And now it's raining, so we can't hear anything. So does this have an oil pressure gauge and stuff?
It's got one in the car.
Yeah, I might need to watch that.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be a reason this thing was parked, right?
Well, it was taken apart, kind of, electrically.
Yeah, that is true. But we didn't really have to do anything. Unless maybe they're just like, we couldn't figure it out, and all that was bad was their starter relay.
Yeah. Try it again.
I guess.
I'll just pour some more down it. Make sure to catch it all on fire.
Yep, that'll be perfect.
It doesn't sound like it's knocking. Battery.
Yeah, our battery's struggling. You got a battery charger? So we ran the battery down, which means we're going to piggyback off Stonewall, which is his General Lee-inspired duster, but it's Stonewall.
Right.
Look at that, that reaches. Those are some impressive jumper cables.
They got the girth too.
The girth is just as important as the length, people.
It is.
I can't. I just can't even. I can't. It's too much. Anyway, I guess we're going to turn it over again and see what happens. It runs pretty easy.
Yeah. Just not long.
Not long. Short and sweet.
Alright, what can we do to pump work?
What we can do is gravity feed this. So if you hang like a bottle, like an IV,
Yeah.
with a hose to it, but we'd have to take this loose and probably turn it around.
Yeah, let's do that.
One eternity later.
I think they need drill bits. It's so close.
I knew they were bad, but not drilling through plastic is pretty exceptional.
There we go. That was amazing. I'm more impressed than anything else. All right, back at the...
Waller is a southern term.
Yep, this is how you make clearance when there wasn't clearance. You waller it out. Yeah. We're not smart. Right by the ball. I just tape this guy to this. Look at that. Professional fuel system installed. Ready for race day. Look at that quality of that gasoline, too. It looks like creek water.
It does.
Well, it's taking fuel. Is it going into the carburetor? Is it leaking everywhere? It's leaking here a little, but not bad. I think it's got fuel in the bowls without flowing out everywhere.
All right.
I think we're good.
We're high-tech rednecks now.
That is quality work right there. At least the fuel looks a little better now.
Oh, we're burping. It does look slightly better.
Let's just fire it up and see what happens. Just ignore that giant puddle of gasoline forming on the intake. It'll be fine.
I feel good about it. Should we hit it with a hammer in case it's stuck?
I think I can stop the leak though, which is good. So now we won't die in a fire explosion.
Small hammer.
Small hammer, huh? If your float's ever stuck, just get the smallest hammer you have around.
Right. That should do the trick.
Give it a few taps. Yeah.
It's also my body hammer.
That's aggressive, man. I stopped the leak though, I think.
I think so.
So now we just have a little bit of residual gas to kill us. So I unfortunately forgot to film it, but while we were working on the car, I noticed that we weren't actually getting fuel out of the accelerator pump of the carburetor. So we took the thing off so I could give it a quick once-over and hopefully get the thing pumping a little bit of fuel out. It's a junky, crusty Carter 2 barrel, though. So we're working on the carburetor here, and as you can see, got a little bit of sand in the bottom of the bowls, but everything looks fairly intact and relatively clean. But we weren't getting any fuel through the accelerator pump, so we're going to clean out everything and see if we can get this thing to actually pump some fuel through it. Lovely. Gotta love junky old 2-barrel. We got a freshly rebuilt carburetor.
Oh yeah, it'll be great.
Just took it apart and blew it out with some brake clean and then put it back together. It'll be fine. I'm going to toss that back on and hopefully this thing will run a little better.
Or at all.
Well, it ran. It ran for about 5 seconds.
It has run progressively longer each time.
We're making progress. That's the important part. It's not getting worse as we go.
This seems right now.
Who knows?
I don't know. Stupid no card.
Ready?
Yep.
I don't know if that means it's not hooked up or it has no oil pressure. But look, the carburetor works now. So maybe that was a pretty good rebuild. It ran for a good 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, now we're out of gas.
Man, we're actually running out of gas. So we need to hook up something to be able to actually check oil pressure or make sure that's hooked up. Do you have like an external thing you could thread in anywhere?
I don't know where we could.
There's gotta be a port somewhere we could use. But look, she runs.
Yeah.
At least a little bit. Better than it did yesterday.
2 hours ago, yeah.
All right, let's see what we can do to find out about oil pressure. So the logic is we don't put a gauge on it because either it works or it doesn't, because you're not gonna do anything else with this engine anyway.
Right.
Perfect. I like the way you think, sir.
Yeah, it's send either way.
So I guess let's put a little more fuel in it and see if it'll run a little longer.
Yeah, we can see if the transmission works.
And we got a leak from our professional fuel system here.
I did see that.
It was flying everywhere.
Yeah, I got covered because it was hitting the fan.
Yeah.
And then hitting me.
That's what you want. You want fuel over everything. So when one spark happens.
That I also catch on fire?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So it's got enough trans fluid for burnouts?
Yeah.
Just enough?
Look, if it's pink, it's good.
Yeah, I like your logic. I guess let's dump some more fuel in our little rig and see if she'll move.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it moved. It also died, but it moved.
It's got reverse.
Let's see. She moved backwards though, so there's a start. Now we just need to get it to move forward and actually take some throttle so you can burn those tires off from 1989.
At that time a little bit.
It did?
Yeah.
It was revving up, yeah.
Yeah, that was on the pedal.
Nice. So we're showing signs of improvement. We have a nice battery charger here. Yeah. That's professional. Let's take a look inside. Look at that. Working dome light. Other than some tears on the seat and what used to be a whole bunch of mouse turds and a cracked dash pad, this thing's pretty nice. Got good gauges in here. Steering wheel's beautiful. I don't think the horn works. Oh, sell it. Horn doesn't work. Still got the radio in it. Now this is an AC car. We're talking classy. So Taylor wants to do a burnout. It's gotta happen. This car has no brakes. So you know how you get around that? Well, when you have a tow strap and a lift, you just strap your car to the lift and let her eat. Oh, and it's gonna be a shop burnout.
Right. Also, gotta be.
I think we're being entirely too optimistic here.
Perfect.
Scientific for sure. We should definitely put a block in front of the tire still. This is so dumb. So dumb.
Gotta happen. Huh?
Yeah, it's a requirement at this point.
Did you put air in this tire too?
No. You should definitely harden them up as much as you can, give you the best shot. You got some dry rot to them. That's how you get extra smoke.
235, 60, 14. It was previously so flat that I couldn't read that.
Perfect.
That's what I did.
That's a lot. Come on. Hang on. Keep it running. All right, try again. It's fun to tire. You did a burnout. Just very small. Smell the tire smoke? I sprayed WD-40 on the tire. Oh man, she is not happy.
No.
Not happy at all.
No.
But look, it did a burnout after 31 years of sitting.
I don't know that you can really call it a burnout. But
I think it counts. There was tire smoke.
yeah, we'll take it for now.
So stupid. Look at this. This is genius. I'm a fan. That is some lack of mechanical sympathy right there.
Hey, it ran for a while.
It did, and it started to idle.
Yeah.
We're making big improvements on this car.
It's been worse.
And we haven't really put any money into it yet.
No, other than the only money so far.
Coil and fuel pump, but the fuel pump was unnecessary for this rig.
Right. So the plan is still to put rotors, pads, now fuel line, since it's cut in 3 places apparently.
Yep.
Fuel tank, because it's gone. Fuel tank straps, because it looks like the fuel tank fell out and it rode 20 years with them
Yep.
out.
There's some pieces missing. Look at those shocks.
That's what I was saying.
Those are pretty freaking sweet, man.
Got like progressive springs on it.
Yeah, high tech. 1973.
We ran out of gas, that's what happened.
Oh man, it would have kept going. Well, let's put more gas in it.
Yeah, well,
Do another burnout.
Might as well try. Because it had just gotten started.
Yep, it had just started. I'll spray more WD-40 on the tire while I'm at it. Give it its best shot.
Oh yeah, it was out.
I bet she'll start back up easier after running too.
Yeah. It at least got a little heat in it that time.
Yeah.
It's sounding a little bit better, it sounds like too.
I'm gonna call it a win. This key is really coming in handy.
Yeah.
Let's see if she starts with no more starting fluid.
No.
Nope. This thing,
got the idea.
this thing is an addict. It loves its starting fluid.
What's the deal with it after it runs?
I have no idea. It just does not like to restart. So let's hang the throttle open for a little bit. Let it air out again. So this was full of fuel.
And the car hasn't run.
And the car hasn't run. So that means our float's stuck and our needle and seat's leaking. So we just pulled all the plugs out because we were going to change them anyway. And now we're going to blow fuel everywhere.
One of us is about to get wet, and I hope it's not while we arc this.
I'm gonna stand back. Oh, my side. Oh, man. It definitely got you. Oh, that was a lot of fuel.
That was a lot of fuel.
Oh, keep turning it. Just turn your face away. There we go. That's pretty good. Like how you're trying to shake it off like that's going to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the process of changing the plugs, we found these little guys in there, and that spark is not going to be in the right place in the combustion chamber, so that's what's supposed to be in there. So we're putting some new Autolites in there, and I think this is going to help us start the car a little easier, because that's wrong. They don't look too bad, though. Yeah, there was 3 of these, so almost half the engine was running on lawnmower spark plugs. Good times.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Maybe it'll stop draining now. All right, we got the battery charger running. See if she'll fire up with a little more juice. I think it needs more trans fluid. The way it's acting.
Let it warm up a little, I guess.
Might as well. We're almost out.
That's fine.
Oh, that's awesome. So we actually got some tip in it now.
Just tells me the water pump's working.
Yeah, I guess that's the bright side. We're almost out. I think your oil pump works. I think it's got oil pressure the way it sounds. Yeah. Oh, she's dying. How many miles are on this thing? I'm gonna assume 129,000.
29 or 129.
I'm gonna assume 129.
Yeah.
But you never know. Oil pressure gauge doesn't work. Gas gauge doesn't work. Nothing really works in here. Temperature gauge doesn't work. The lights don't work. But the dome light does. So we just made a quick trip up to, if I can open the door, up to...
We about crashed coming
out
out of AutoZone.
AutoZone, and they had the starter relay in stock. I'm always blown away when they have random old parts like that in stock.
Local AutoZone hooking us up.
We got some ATF and some Lucas transmission magic, and maybe she'll do a burnout. We'll see.
Find out shortly.
Because the transmission's not happy with us right now.
No, very, very screamy.
It'll be fine. You got the good stuff going in. Yep.
That's real thick.
That's how you know it's good. The thicker the viscosity, the better it is. Stops, leaks, hard shifting, and slipping. Can't get the Obama gas can to work.
No.
Who designed these things? Because
Satan.
you end up either getting no gas or spilling it everywhere. There's no in between. I just dump it straight out of the gas can into the other gas can.
Where I'm about to be with it.
Satan designed them, apparently. That's great. You got it working, but there's gas everywhere.
God, I hate these things.
It
makes me so sad.
So stupid. Thanks, Obama. It was during his administration. He gets blamed for it, no matter what.
It was way worse than Obamacare.
Oh, political jokes on a car channel. That's never a good idea. Battery charger's running. Got starting fluid in the car. Got my screwdriver. You ready? That engine did not sound healthy during that. No. But it did admit a little more of a burnout. Oh, goodness. Do I need to start Stonewall again? Come on. Ease into it. It does not like prolonged burnouts.
No.
I don't think our gravity feed fuel pump's keeping up.
No.
But look at that. Woo, that's some real tire smoke. I just inhaled it.
It's so old.
It definitely tastes like 1989. I'll call that a win, though.
I'll call it a win.
That was better. God. There's a reason you don't do shop burnouts, people. They're cool, but man, all the smoke stays with you.
Yep.
Are you a happy man now?
I'm much happier than I once was.
That's good. We'll call it a win overall. I'd say that's a little bit more respectable amount of rubber on the ground. And by the way, look at this tire, people. It is mint condition. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't just keep that on there. And
I considered it. It's almost worthy of a 1,350 mile road trip, but just shy.
Almost, you know. That's just extra ventilation.
There's no reason to just dismount a tire with tread on it. Oh.
Yeah, you gotta dismount it by blowing it out with glorious burnouts. I like the ambiance in here now. Cinematic. So it hasn't run in 31 years, and it just did a burnout.
Did a burnout, and I'd say overall we've been on it 3 or 4 hours.
And we've kind of been screwing around.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, a lot of it's just been waiting for it to unflood itself.
Yep.
So.
It is not a happy carburetor.
No.
I think it's time for a 4-barrel swap.
Yeah, it's going to get an Edelbrock intake and carburetor here in the immediate future.
That'll be good.
And brakes, wheels and tires. Maybe some wiring from where Pinky and the Brain have doctored on it.
And then a long road trip.
Long road trip.
Nice
Maybe
work, man.
2. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, there you guys go. Sat for 31 years, and now it's a runner. And he did his first burnout in it. It's not really your car till you do a burnout.
That's true.
And all in all, we didn't really do anything to it other than put a coil in it because that was missing. Threw a fuel pump on the side just to keep oil from dumping out the side. And she runs and does burnouts. So dig a car out of a junkyard and go do burnouts in it. You'll thank me later. So a little bonus material for you guys. You get to see underneath the skirt. Exhaust has seen better days. Sucker's almost pinched shut right there.
It's a little muddy, but overall.
It's got surface rust, but overall it's pretty solid.
Yeah, really solid, really.
I'm a fan. Need some new bushings.
Yeah.
Details.